Hi, I'm Billy Penn for 300guitars.com, and I'm going to show you how to adjust the truss rod on a Yamaha AES 1500. Okay, so we're ready to get started on adjusting the truss rod on this Yamaha AES 1500 over here. But first I'm going to give you a little information on how the truss rod works and what it does. Real basic truss rod 101 information here. When you adjust the truss rod, what you're actually doing is, let's say that this is your neck, and you're looking at the neck like this. Tightening the truss rod will make the neck become straighter, and actually over tightening it, it'll go back, and that's what you don't want. So right now the condition of this neck of this guitar is slightly underbowed, making it a little sluggish to play. After tightening the rod, we're going to straighten that out, and it's going to make it much easier to play. It'll be a faster playing guitar. I personally like to set up my guitars with the truss rod that are just about dead flat, without the with the least amount of rattling or buzzing. I don't like an underbowed conditioned rod. Anyway, I can take my little straight edge here, and I can put it on here, and I can wiggle this, and I know it's in an underbowed condition. I can tell just from playing it. Changing the season can make it happen because it's wood, it shifts. So what we're going to do is we're going to tighten the truss rod. Now, very similar to a Gibson guitar, very similar to any other types of guitar with the truss rod adjustment at the headstock, you want to turn it, the old rule of thumb, right to tight, left to loose. So what you do is you want to take your truss rod wrench and insert it into the little hex head. Now, one thing you might want to do is take the D and take the G string, take it out of its slots so you have a little bit more room to work. You don't want to break the strings or actually nick or gouge the strings. Also, I like to adjust my rod under tension. I've heard of a few people like to do it without tension. It doesn't make any sense to me. So you can see, you can actually test the rod, test the neck relief as you go along. I know that this is probably going to need about a quarter of a turn. Go very slow. It should feel tight. It should feel like you have to put a little effort into it. You shouldn't hear any creaking, crackling sounds, and it shouldn't be difficult. If it is, take it to your repairman, your personal luthier. Don't mess around with it. You can break a rod. It's happened to me in the past, and before I really became much more knowledgeable, and it was a disaster, to say the least. Now let's see what we have here. I know I can rock this a little. I can use a little bit more. Tighten this up a little bit more. Again, see if you can take the D and the G out of its nut slots to make a little bit more room. And then just probably I'm going to need another eighth of a turn, and that's probably going to do it. Put those strings right back in the slots. And that's really, that feels. I do a lot of my repair work by feel, just from doing it so many years, and that feels about right to me. Another way to test the condition of your neck adjusting the truss rod is fret the first fret and fret the fret where the body meets the neck. And you can actually see. You may not be able to see it on the camera, but you can feel there's a little tiny bit of play. Some people use feeler gauges. Some people have other custom ways of doing it. I do it some people call it the hillbilly way, of just down and dirty. If you're on the road and you don't have any tools, there's things you can use quick and easy, such as this method here. I like to do all my things like that. It's less cumbersome, there's less tools, and you develop an innate feel for things like that. And that's really all there is to adjusting the truss rod. Just be very careful. Go slow. If it feels like it's too tight, you need a lot of effort, stop. If you hear any creaking or clicking, stop and bring it to your guitar repairman, because you may break the truss rod, and that's the last thing you want to do. And that's it for this segment. I'm Billy Penn for 300guitars.com. Please visit the website for informative articles, product reviews, and a forum for discussion. Thanks. I'm Billy Penn for www.300guitars.com.